If you're an experienced coach running ads to a high ticket funnel where the end goal is to attract great quality conversations, which can lead to working with the best kind of clients, then this video is for you. See, the only way for you to continuously achieve this is by leveraging something that has been applied for the last 5, 6, 7 decades in marketing, and that is personalization. So for example, if your marketing sounds like everyone else's marketing in your niche, or if you're just relying on a few ads to appeal to your entire ideal audience, then you may see an increase in the cost of advertising and a drop in the quality of leads that you're attracting. So how have marketers been applying this personalization for many, many years into their marketing? Is by understanding the 5 stages of awareness. First one is most aware. This is essentially what is known to be a hot lead. Someone who knows you, they understand what you have to offer, they probably have engaged or interacted to work with you. Then comes the next stage, which is product aware. Now, these are individuals, okay, part of your ideal audience. They have the awareness that you have a program, you have a coaching program, a transformation program, and they're still on the fence, and they require a certain level of nudge in the right direction to take the next step. So I want you to understand, as I go along this list, what is the most important thing to understand is how you speak to each level your audience is at. Instead of having a one-size-fits-all message for everyone, it's about understanding how you can personalize your messaging. By messaging, I mean your ad, which can be written, which can be a video, which can be an image. So the next step is then solution aware. And this means that your audience understands what they want. They're very clear on what they desire. They're still not sure on where to go, what is available, but they're very clear on what is it that they want. So in case of, let's say, a life coach, and if your ideal audience is, people who are dealing with stress and anxiety in the workplace, then they have a desire to achieve more work-life balance, more peace of mind. So then the way you speak to them will cater to that emotion, that thought that they are thinking, right? I mean, the thumb rule to marketing is your marketing should be equal to what your ideal audience is already thinking. If you can tap into that emotion, then that is what is going to hook them or appeal to them in your favor. The next stage is problem aware. So these are individuals in your audience who are feeling the pain. They are aware that, oh, my life feels stuck, but they don't know what the right solution is. So when you speak to them, you're going to lead with the problem that they're feeling and then educate them with what they can do. And there are different ways to personalize the message across every stage, as you can see. And then the last one is unaware. These individuals don't know that there is a problem. They are completely unaware, as the name suggests. So the point I want to convey over here is that now imagine your ideal audience is across these 5 stages. Now, would you speak to all these individuals the same way, or will you personalize your message to each segment on this range, right? That is the power of personalizing your marketing so that your audience feels understood. How will they feel understood is when you speak what they are already thinking. That's what resonating with your audience is all about. Now, this is about personalizing your marketing. But did you know that with AI, you can now personalize your funnel? What is a funnel at the end of the day? At the end of the day, a funnel is a sequence of steps. Again, excuse my handwriting, but I want you to understand this as if I was sitting in front of you, taking a pen and a tissue paper and explaining something to you. So a sequence of steps. So right now, if you're running ads, then you probably have a sequence of steps which eventually gets them to book a call with you, right? That could either be, you could have, maybe you're doing a live webinar, maybe you have a VSL, or maybe you are directly asking them to book a call with you, right? These are different ways. Now, the sequence plays a very important role in determining the quality of the lead that eventually shows up to the call. Now, how do you determine the quality of a lead? Usually, when someone books a call, they will fill up a questionnaire that will give you some kind of intel or data or information on their situation, their urgency, maybe their potential to invest. These are essentially signals that you get for you to decide if it makes sense to get on a call with them or not. So this is the normal way. And then you look at this form, and then you decide if the person is qualified or not. As simple as that. So the most important question is, how do you personalize the sequence of steps that your ideal audience takes to become a client? Is the live webinar personalized? Is the recorded video personalized? Because if you think about the different stages of awareness, if you have one piece of content, do you think one piece of content is enough to speak to 5 different types of people? No, it can do some kind of work, but not entirely. But then, in case if you feel that yes, it does, let's now talk about the issue about how many people are actually showing up to these live webinars. How many people are actually watching the entire VSL? No matter how good your VSL or webinar is, the message will get lost if no one is consuming it. So how do we not only attract the right audience, but how do we more importantly engage them through our funnel to go through the sequence of steps which are designed to get them to know you, like you, trust you, right? At the end of the day, you want the individual showing up on a call with you to be someone who already has context. So again, coming back to the question now, how do we personalize this whole experience? Because if you are relying on your call booking form to decide if the individual is qualified or not, then you and I both know that's a 50-50 chance. Because until the person shows up on that Zoom call, you don't really know if the person is genuinely a right fit for you or not. It's like a blind date to some extent. So what is the solution to this? Well, I've been working on this for the last almost a year because I personally have built VSL funnels for more than 5 years. And I realized that there has to be a better way because the attention is now going towards AI. Your ideal audience is going to a chat model. They're asking their questions there, but they're not getting the transformation. They're just getting feel moments that lack the required action. That's why coaches are necessary. That's why coaches are needed. That's why you are needed to guide them on this journey of transformation. Okay, regardless of the niche you're in. Now, how do we do this? So instead of running your ads to a one-size-fits-all content, you make them go through a personalized experience where they answer questions about their situation. And with the power of AI, instantaneously, they get an insight that reveals to them the pattern, the obstacle, the truth of why they are stuck, what they need to know, what they need to understand. And it's more of like your core piece of content that you had before, whether it was a VSL or a webinar or anything recorded, is now hyper personalized to their situation. And trust me, everyone loves to know about themselves. Everyone's favorite subject is themselves, right? And when you give them something that is specific, unique, catering to their exact situation, it allows them to self-diagnose, which is so crucial. Because let me ask you a question. Imagine if someone has clarity on their situation, why they're dealing with that pain or that discomfort or that fear or that frustration, regardless of the niche, right? And then they decide to show up on a call with you. Having that clarity, and just imagine the impact that will have on the conversation with you. And who's the one providing this eureka moment, this aha moment? It's you. Because this is not just AI. What is the difference between them going to a chat model and going through this experience? Is because this AI is trained on your methodology, your knowledge, what I like to call your ACE, authority, credibility, and expertise. So it's like mini consultation on autopilot that makes them feel understood, genuinely catering to the answers that they have given to those questions. They get a mirror that gives them the level of self-awareness required so they can understand what they don't, because most individuals can't even articulate their own problems. I'm sure as a coach, you have experienced many conversations where they just feel the emotion of being stuck, but don't really understand how to put words to what they're feeling. And that's why as a coach, that is something that is really important that you do. You give them that clarity on the call. Now imagine if that happening before they even book a call with you. And once they receive this insight, then they watch a video where you explain what you're offering and how working with you looks like. You showcase your testimonials, and then you invite them to book a call. So you see, the point here is that when your marketing is personalized across the different stages of awareness, and then your funnel is also personalized, which means that your audience goes through a highly engaged experience that reveals to them something that is super valuable to them. And once they experience that, then they understand what is it that you have to offer, how you've helped others, and how you can help them as well. And then they show up to the call. Imagine the impact on the show up rate. Imagine the impact on the quality of the conversation you have. And imagine the impact of attracting individuals who are clear, self-aware, self-diagnosed. This is the insight funnel. And let me quickly show you how this looks. So if you've watched this video till this very point, I want to give you a visualization of what the insight funnel looks like. Now imagine your audience clicking on your ad and going to an experience that is truly personalized. Now, this is exactly what the insight funnel would look like across different niches. So if you're a business coach, it could be about why is your business stuck at the same revenue no matter what you try? Answer a few questions to find out. And this would be kind of like a visualization of what your landing page would look like. Your picture would come here, what people have to say, right? But it's more engaging because it's all about giving them that tailored experience. And once they click on that, they answer a few questions. Now, these questions are essentially what you would normally ask on a conversation itself. But instead, you're letting them go through that experience beforehand so that they can self-diagnose, achieve that clarity, and articulate their own problem to themselves more clearly. So these are questions basically relevant to your niche. Now, in this case, there are like 4 questions, but we could have 12, 15, 18. It depends on the degree of depth you want to take your audience through. And then the AI, which is essentially an AI agent that we built from scratch, customized to integrate your authority, credibility, and expertise. Right? So here, then your ideal audience gets an insight. Now, this is just a summary. It can be as short or as long or as specific or as customized as we want it. We have full control because the way this entire system is designed is literally from scratch. That's why I've taken a year to develop this proprietary system called the insight funnel. So as you can see, this would be like an insight of what your audience goes through, which gives them an idea of the bottlenecks, the pattern, what's missing, what needs to change. And then now it says at the end, like, you see your pattern. Now here's what to do about it, which essentially gets them to your offer. So here it's all about, then talking about what it's like working with you, more context with respect to how you have helped others, what your program looks like, a roadmap, who this is for, who this is not for, some more testimonials. Frequently asked questions, because what is more powerful than handling objections is preventing objections. And that's what this does really well. And then people book a call with you based on whatever scheduling tool you're using. And once they book a call with you, again, a thank you page, your call is confirmed, another video just reassuring them on the decision they've taken and what they need to do before getting on a call. Again, all of this can be personalized. Okay. Now, this is just an example of a business coach like that. We can look at a relationship coach where it's like, why do you keep attracting the same type of person, expecting a different result? This headline, this hook is tailored to your ideal client. So I'm sure you have an ideal client profile, which should be specific to where they are on that stage of awareness. And all of this direct response copywriting is all customized. And if you look at another example, again, I'll just take another one. And then here's another example of a career coach. So if you're a career coach, why does every career move you make feel like a sidestep, never forward? Again, all this can be customized. Okay, but I just want you to look at the entire experience. So regardless of the niche you're in, these are just some templates that I have just created just to showcase what the insight funnel would look like. Let's see one more. Mindset coach. Here, why do you keep sabotaging yourself when things start to work? So powerful. Imagine if your ideal audience is thinking this. They would just like immediately want to click on this and answer a few questions and get get feedback on their situation. And then that feedback is connected to your offer. It just is the most logical way forward. And there are going to be 2 types of people. One who have that vision and embrace this, and 2 who wait for seeing enough people doing this. And then, by then it's too late and everyone is doing this. So you have an opportunity. If you're seeing this is an opportunity for you to understand how you can integrate the insight funnel for yourself. So I've gone on for a while, but if you'd like to actually experience this, then I obviously have an insight funnel which will show you how qualified your leads really are across 5 dimensions. And when you click on the button or link around this video, you'll go through the insight funnel experience. And then if you feel like you want to integrate this into your coaching business because you feel like it's the right shift you require in your business, then all the information, all the details will be provided to you as you move along that sequence. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you made it to this point, then do leave a comment below on what truly resonated with you, what you agreed with, what you disagreed with, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side.